My name is Frederick. I'm the owner of Latino French Cuisine and the Kitchen Table.
Hi, my name is Joe McClellan. I am the chef de cuisine of the Kitchen Table. It's a 20-seat restaurant located in the north end of Halifax. It's an extension of Latino French Cuisine, which is a cheese and charcuterie shop.
Joe is my chef, and I like to say that is a restaurant for a couple reasons. Number one, I can't do everything, and number two is Joe is very talented.
So foraging to me is it's a very crucial part of what we're trying to accomplish here at the Kitchen Table. The idea of being able to walk into the forest and you can create a meal from what's there, to me is more inspiring than going to a grocery store and looking at some green peppers or a beet or what have you. The idea of connecting with your ingredients is extremely important. It boils down to respect for it. When you've gone into the woods and you've picked this mushroom or you've picked this plant and then you have to turn it into something, it's almost like the idea of respecting it, the whole plant, the whole mushroom, the whole process from start to finish. So here what we have is some salt water from Nova Scotia's Atlantic Ocean. Basically what we started with was about 32 liters of salt water, and we're going to reduce it down and yield about 1.5 to 2.5 cups of salt. The result is this ultra flaky sea salt that's from Nova Scotia, which is quite cool. So we focus on 8-course tasting menus. It's a format that's seen all over the world, but not widely used here. Basically what we have is a 14-set large communal dining table, and then we also offer 6 seats at the bar. And the idea behind it is it's something that most restaurateurs would not really delve into. We focus on quality over quantity, so we're a very small, intimate space. I think it provides a level of quality that's not really seen in a lot of restaurants, and the whole tasting format as well, doing 8 courses versus most restaurants you go out and you kind of have your options on three options for like an appetizer or main, whereas this is a set 8-course menu, and we're kind of here to engage, entertain, excite, almost make you nervous a little bit when you eat, because a lot of the times some of the ingredients you'll see on the menu kind of catch you off guard. So this is one of the amuses that we do here at the Kitchen Table. What we have is crispy moss. This one is garnished with some ramp powder and fresh cream cheese. I really like the idea of eating with your hands, so we encourage guests to start the meal off by eating and starting with your hands. I think it's a really good introduction to the menu, and it kind of it puts people on edge a little bit, the fact that they have to eat with their hands, but it also is very enticing and energizing at the same time. So we're going to do basically a menu that's kind of based on foraged and obviously local items. So we're going to do some grilled shandaf oysters. We're just going to cook them over charcoal very slowly and garnish it with some frozen pickled wild rose petals.
I find nature have a lot to offer, and I think a lot of people are taking nature for granted. And I think we are destroying nature more than we are actually taking care of it and enjoying what nature has to offer. And here in Nova Scotia, we're actually very fortunate because the diversity of nature is absolutely unbelievable. We get the ocean, so you get everything like any kind of seaweeds. You have wild oysters, wild mussels, clams, anything that comes the ocean, pretty much we have it in here. And then we also have a lot of forest. And by forest, again, it's very diverse, different type of forest, from pine to leaf tree. And depending on the forest, we find different type of products.
So Fred approached me about joining this amazing idea of having a 20-seat restaurant where we do tasting menus 4 nights a week. And I was like, this is what I've wanted my entire life. And he gave me the opportunity, and it's been great since. It's been amazing.
Joe brings lots of things that are extremely unique to this place. First of all, it is a passion for cooking, which was very, very important for me because I'm very passionate about food in general. and I needed to have somebody who had the same connection than I did about that. So he brings his passion, he shows on a plate, he shows to people when he talks to customers, when they ask him questions. He's got a lot of creativity. It's actually pretty much endless, I would say. The first time I worked with Joe, like I said earlier, I barely knew him. During the dinner, we did, I think at the time, a 9-course tasting menu. We worked together like we've been working together for pretty much ever. And I've been in the industry, in the restaurant industry, for about 20 years now, and that had never happened to me before. We did the service went extremely smooth. We barely had to talk to each other to know who was doing what and what was going on a plate and where, and all of that. So after the first dinner, I had a really, really high, I was extremely impressed by his work. The way he was working, his creativity, pretty much the whole package, to be honest. It kind of sounds like I could be dating that guy. Why Nova Scotia? I actually didn't choose it at all. Nova Scotia kind of came to me kind of quite randomly, actually. I was working in France at the time. I applied for 3 different jobs. One in Canada, which was in Nova Scotia at the Celtic Lodge, one in Bora Bora, in French Polynesia, and one in Spain. I got accepted everywhere. I always been attracted by Canada, so I was like, you get an opportunity to go to Canada, why not catch it? So I went down, I was working in the Alps, so I went down to the valley and passed an interview. At the time, the chef and all the sous-chefs at the Celtic Lodge were from France, so they were hiring all their chefs de partie in Europe, like France and England, I believe, mostly. So I passed the interview, I got accepted, and I took the shot. To be honest with you, when I decided when I was going to Canada, Nova Scotia, the Celtic Lodge, I had no idea where I was going. Being in Europe, mostly at the time when you were hearing about Canada, was mostly about Quebec. I believe probably a relation between the language. But I took the job, and then I looked where I was going. Where was the Celtic Lodge? Where was Nova Scotia? I didn't really have any high expectation. I was just excited to come to Canada, to be honest. And I arrived late day, so mid-spring, a late day in Halifax. It was getting dark. The sous-chef of the Celtic Lodge came pick me up at the airport. We drove to Cape Breton the same day, so all in the dark. I couldn't see what was the scenery or what was going on. Like, I had no idea. Anyway, long story short, got up the day after and basically was in paradise. I nearly fell in love with this province in about 30 seconds. Let's say about 12 hours, the time after I land. But as soon as I saw the environment that I was in, I always loved big space, love nature. The Celtic Lodge is on a peninsula, which Cape Breton is absolutely a stunning part of Canada. So fell in love right away with the place. And I gotta say that about 13 years later, I didn't left Nova Scotia for very long. So I didn't really choose Nova Scotia. I think Nova Scotia chose me. So I'm very happy to be in here. I don't see myself being anywhere else right now.
So for me, ultimately, why I really want to push food forward here in Nova Scotia is because I feel like it's gotten a bad rap, and I really want to put us on the map as a destination where the food is truly amazing. And in this environment, 20 seats, I think we can really, really do it.